Adina Nell Gorley shares a story of when she was visiting her parents' home with her daughter many years ago. At about sundown, my mother and I stepped out on the back porch and watched as my father called in his 5 sheep to come into shelter for the night. My father walked to the edge of the field and called, "Come on." Immediately, without even stopping to bite off the mouthful of food they were reaching for, 4 heads turned in his direction and broke into a run until they had reached his side and received a pat on the head. My little daughter said, "Grandma, how does Grandpa get them to do that?" My mother answered, "The sheep know his voice, and they love him." There were 5 sheep in the field, but only 4 ran to Father. Farthest away, clear over on the edge of the field, looking straight toward Father, stood a large ewe. Father called to her, "Come on." She made a motion as if to start, but didn't come. Then Father started across the field, calling to her, "Come on, you're untied." The other 4 sheep trailed behind him at his heels. My mother explained to us that a few weeks before, an acquaintance of theirs had brought the ewe and had given it to Father with the explanation that he no longer wanted it in his own herd. The man said it was wild and wayward, and it was always leading his other sheep through the fences and causing so much trouble that he wanted to get rid of it. Father gladly accepted the sheep, and for the next few days he staked it to the field so it wouldn't go away. Then, as it felt more secure in its new home, Father left a short rope around his neck but didn't stake it down. As my mother explained this to us, Father and his sheep had almost reached the straggler at the end of the field, and through the stillness we heard him call again, "Come on, you aren't tied down anymore. You are free." The sheep gave a lurch and ran to Father's side. Then, with his loving hand on her head, he and all the members of his little flock turned and walked back toward us again. Following the voice of the Good Shepherd is the only way to true peace. We are not obedient because we are blind. We are obedient because we know our Savior loves us, and we can see the path to all that is good and happy is the path that follows Him. Sometimes we as God's sheep bind ourselves with sin. It becomes the invisible rope that makes us unfree. No matter how bound we think we are, we can once again find shelter within the flock by hearing and following the Master's voice when He calls, "Come on, now you're free."